Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Pure Grenada, the spice of the Caribbean. I am Curl Grant Hoshdialik, your master of ceremony. This planet we call Earth is worth our time, effort, and investment. Our ability to dialogue and have a shared vision for Caribbean sustainable tourism is why we are all gathered here today. Minister for Tourism, Creative Economy and Culture for Grenada, Senator the Honorable Adrian Thomas, visiting ministers for tourism, other ministers of government, President of the Senate, Senator the Honorable Dr. Decima Williams, Secretary General and CEO of the Caribbean Tourism Organization, Mrs. Donna Regis Prosper, keynote speaker, Mr. Adam Stewart, Permanent Secretary of Tourism, Creative Economy and Culture, Ms. Natalie Williams, other permanent secretaries and senior government officials, Chairman of the Grenada Tourism Authority, Mr. Randall Dolland, CEO of the Grenada Tourism Authority, Ms. Petra Roach, other directors of tourism of the Caribbean Tourism Organization, tourism stakeholders, specially invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, and of course, our viewing audience. Good morning once again. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Grenada, and this will be sung or done for us by Ms. Sonaika McKee. Please remain standing, for we will follow directly by the flag ceremony and then the invocation.
Hail, Grenada, land of ours, we pledge ourselves to thee. Heads, hearts, and hands in unity to reach our destiny. Ever conscious of God, being proud of our heritage, may we with faith and courage aspire, build advance as one people, one family. God bless our nation.
Our nation is certainly blessed with beautiful voices. In all things, we give God praise and thanks. It gives me great pleasure to invite Reverend Samuel Byam to lead us in a word of prayer.
Let us, as we continue, bow our heads and have a moment of silence as we acknowledge the presence of God. Most holy and gracious Father, you have promised to hear the petitions of those who ask in thy Son's name. We beseech you mercifully to incline your ear to us, who come to you in prayers and supplications for a successful outcome of this 5-day conference. We thank you for the organizers of this conference And we pray for the achievements of this week of coming together, that it would have favorable results as we seek guidance in the exchange of ideas for the furtherance and development of the region's tourism product. We pray that the plans developed from the discussions following would finally attain the objectives as outlined in the 5-point proposal in encompassing our people, and at the same time being conscious of our planet, eventually seeking prosperity to our region with a positive purpose as we go forth in a partnership with the elements of nature. We humbly ask that you, O merciful Lord, will grant these in accordance to your will, and that it may effectually be obtained to the relief of our necessity and to the setting forth of thy glory through Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Now we will have the flag ceremony. The Caribbean Tourism Organization. Anguilla. Antigua and Barbuda. The Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Barbados. Belize. Bermuda. British Virgin Islands. The Cayman Islands. Curacao. The Commonwealth of Dominica. The Cooperative Republic of Guyana. The Republic of Haiti. Jamaica. Martinique. Montserrat. St. Eustatius. The Federation of St. Christopher and Nevis. St. Lucia. St. Martin. The Collectivity of St. Martin. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. The Turks and Caicos Island. United States Virgin Islands. And of course, we would have Grenada, which our beautiful flag, on the stage. Please be seated. And thank you so very much, Reverend Byam, for your prayer. Today's welcome message will be delivered by the Minister for Tourism, Creative Economy, and Culture. He has a wealth of knowledge in the tourism industry and is deeply passionate about culture and agriculture. He spends countless hours giving back to and with the communities. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the podium to bring you remarks this morning, the Senator, the Honorable Adrian Thomas.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for being part of the largest tourism sustainable conference in Grenada. My beloved Prime Minister, yet to arrive, almost there. Visiting Ministers of Tourism, my good friend, Honorable Lennox Andrew, former Minister of Tourism, now Minister for Agriculture. All the clap. Very good. President of the Senate of Grenada, Senator the Honorable Dr. Decima Williams, Secretary General of CEO of the Caribbean Tourism Organization, Mrs. Donna Regis Prosper, Keynote Speaker, Mr. Adam Stewart, Permanent Secretaries of Tourism, the Creative Economy and Culture, Ms. Natalie Williams, other Permanent Secretaries and Senior Government Officials, Chairman of Grenada Tourism Authority, Mr. Randall Donald, the CEO of Grenada Tourism Authority, Mrs. Petra Roach, other directors of tourism of the Caribbean Tourism Organization, tourism stakeholders, special invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, viewing audience, good morning. I am deeply honored, firstly, to welcome you to Pure Grenada, the spice of the Caribbean. And secondly, to address you briefly at this moment to this important sustainable tourism conference under the overarching theme, the 5 Ps for a legacy of Caribbean tourism sustainability: people, planet, prosperity, purpose, and partnership. This theme is relevant at this crucial period in our development, as it underscores our collective commitment to fostering and facilitating sustainable tourism practices in the Caribbean region, ensuring that our industry leaves a positive legacy for generations to come. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, industry practitioners and professionals, sometimes technology beats you. Grenada is happy to be hosting this conference, as it provides an opportunity for us to share knowledge, network and engage in robust dialogue on the challenges as well as opportunities facing our Caribbean tourism landscape. I believe that sharing knowledge gives us a competitive advantage. The adage, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go further, go together, is ever so relevant. There is no need for us in the region to compete for numbers, as the tourism pie is big enough to feed all of us. The Caribbean receives approximately 3.5% of global arrivals. Therefore, cooperation and collaboration should always be our watchwords. I am also happy to say that Grenada is one of the leading destinations in sustainable tourism development for many reasons. The Pure Grenada Spice of the Caribbean brand speaks for itself as it facilitates direct linkages within the sectors of agriculture, light manufacturing, and tourism. Our nutmeg and cocoa farmers are the owners and managers of these two significant agri-tourism organizations, namely the Grenada Cooperative Nutmeg Association and Grenada Nutmeg Association. They not only delivers immersive experience to visitors from nut to shell and bean to bar, respectively, but they are a force to be reckoned with. They shape policies and contribute significantly to Grenada's economic development. They also help political parties to win elections. Incidentally, Grenada has a total of 7 chocolate factories, with 6 of them located in rural Grenada. I am sure you will not want to leave here without sampling the rich, dark, and organic flavors. Although the conference is packed with relevant and stimulating topics and presentations, you will have significant time to sample our diverse product offering through study and independent tours. You will soon discover that Grenada is a relatively unspoiled destination with no high-rise buildings, not many factories pumping pollutants into the atmosphere, and is rated as one of the top countries in the world for clean air. Brothers and sisters, as you move around, you will feel the gentle breeze with the sweet scent of spices lingering in the air. You will hear the rhythms of the drums and welcome laughter of our people. You will feast your eyes on stunning beaches, lush rainforests, dotted with lakes and waterfalls, and you will taste the spice through mouth-watering culinary delights. Finally, you will have ample opportunities to purchase our signature nutmegs, gifts, as proof that you have been to the sustainable spice of the Caribbean. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a special day in many ways. As we commemorate Earth Day today, April 22nd, I want to acknowledge a noble initiative undertaken by the public and private sector, statutory bodies, NGOs, civil society, clubs, and primary and secondary schools to celebrate this important day. The Grenada Hotel and Tourism Association, St. Patrick's Environmental and Community Tourism Organization, Grenada Education and Development Program, Grenada Scoopers Divers Association, Grenada Solid Waste Authority, and the Grenada Fund for Conservation all came together to participate in a week of activities comprising beach and river cleanups, planting of trees, presentations and panel discussion to schools on sustainable practices, and to initiate Grenada's first mangrove interpretation center in St. David. I am a proud minister for tourism today. Where my people lead, I follow. I am even more proud to inform you that on April the 24th, a young lady, Giovanna Hashtialek, sorry for the pronunciation, an environmental activist, will join her peers in Barbados to speak at the Inter-American Court of Human Rights on behalf of Fast Action Climate Ensure, FACE, Intergenerational Justice. She will highlight the unprecedented impact of climate change and the effects and disastrous consequences for people, nature, and the planet. This is an example of sustainable tourism through succession planning. Put your hands together for her. She's right here. As our sustainable agenda continues, the Ministry of Tourism has just invested $1 million to set up costs for 15 new community tourism projects. Visitors and returning nationals will soon enjoy additional community festivals, eco and adventure tourism, agro and agri-tourism, culinary experiences, and heritage and cultural products. This is just the beginning, and unfortunately for us, we are still in the budding stages of our tourism development. We are setting the stage for the kind of tourism development that we want to embrace. As the new Minister for Tourism, Culture, and the Creative Economy, with only 3 months' experience on the job, my vision is to transform Grenada into a world-class tourist destination while preserving its natural beauty, cultural heritage, and generating economic prosperity for all citizens. The aim is to rethink tourism and not simply return to what was and is comfortable and normal. Creativity and innovation would be my mantra going forward. Brothers and sisters, our sustainable vision in going forward is to create a regenerative tourism industry that empower Grenadians while providing an authentic and unique experience for all. I'm a firm believer that the tourism product in Destination Grenada belongs to all of us who call this place home, and we must protect and enjoy them while inviting visitors to share it with us. And so, I am thrilled that the CTO, the Caribbean Tourism Organization, Grenada Tourism Authority, and the Ministry of Tourism in Grenada have crafted this theme, the 5 Ps. Ladies and gentlemen, challenges abound, and we feel the impact in the Caribbean even more than most developing countries. Therefore, we must place on the table the issues of global recession, natural disasters, pandemics, climate change, especially with the threat of increasing sargassum on our shores. Directly, we are challenged by the issues of inadequate ELIF, uneven distribution of tourism development, inadequate product development, and leakages due to the high inputs resulting in more than 80 cents out of every tourism dollar leaving most of our economies. But there is hope, and we must preserve. The time is now for the Caribbean to implement proactive strategies of sound planning and management, stakeholders' engagement, collaboration and partnership, community empowerment, public education and awareness, and the implementation of standards and certificated programs, to name a few. With these measures, destinations can minimize negative impacts, maximize profit benefits, and ensure the long-term sustainability of our tourism industry. In conclusion, I guess many of you are waiting for that. I want to thank the CTO for entrusting us with the responsibility of hosting this important conference, and the GTA and Ministry of Tourism, as well as all stakeholders who answer the call to make this a reality. Let us make an effort to embrace the 5 Ps. Together, let us forge a legacy that honors our past, enriches our present, and preserve our future. Ladies and gentlemen, I urge you to enjoy your stay in pure Grenada, the spice of the Caribbean, and please come again, this time with friends and family. Long live the sustainable tourism industry. I thank you.
Thank you so very, very much, Minister. Grenada, he mentioned how beautiful we are, and that we certainly are. So please start packing your bags. Your next vacation is going to be right here in the spice of the Caribbean. Minister, you have indeed set the tone for a very informative, engaging, and dynamic conference. So, moving right along, our next speaker is the newly appointed Secretary General and CEO of the Caribbean Tourism Organization, Mrs. Donna Regia Prosper. She brings with her a wealth of an extensive background working in the public and private sector. Let's welcome her and bring her to bring her opening remarks.
Thank you, Carol, for this wonderful introduction. Please allow me to adopt the protocol already established. Happy Earth Day, everyone. It is significant that we're hosting this conference on a day set aside to remember our global commitment to a cleaner and greener planet. It is indeed a pleasure to have received such a warm welcome in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. On behalf of the Caribbean Tourism Organization, I extend gratitude to Prime Minister of Grenada, Honorable Dickon Mitchell, Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Adrian Thomas, and members of the Grenada Cabinet for their gracious hospitality in hosting this important conference. Special thanks to Minister Lennox Andrew, whose vision while serving as Minister of Tourism was crucial to the realization of this conference today. I bring you special greetings on behalf of my chairmanship, based in the Cayman Islands, the Honorable Kenneth Bryant, Chairman of the Council of Ministers of the Caribbean Tourism Organization, and Rosa Harris, Chairperson of CTO's Board of Directors. Ladies and gentlemen, putting together this Sustainable Tourism Conference was truly a collaborative effort. My CTO team worked very closely with the Grenada Tourism Authority, led by Chairman Ronald Dolan, and its dynamic CEO, Petra Roach. Please permit me to take a special moment to express appreciation to the CTO staff here on ground in Grenada and at the headquarters in Barbados, especially our very energetic sustainable tourism specialist and spokesperson for the conference, Ms. Amanda Charles. For their hard work in ensuring the spectacular comeback of this important conference. This year, the Sustainable Tourism Conference has attracted a record number of attendees from North America to Europe and the Caribbean. The buzz and excitement have truly been remarkable. We are joined by over 20 partners and sponsors, including airlines, cruise lines, banking, hotels, tour operators, transportation, education, and media. Such an amazing partnership and regional collaboration. Speaking of partnership, I take the opportunity to recognize our keynote speaker, who flew all night to be with us today. Mr. Adam Stewart, Executive Chairman of Sandals Resorts International, who has been at the forefront of sustainable tourism in the Caribbean. I also acknowledge the presence of several ministers of tourism across the Caribbean. Your presence here today is a testament to your commitment to sustainability, both regionally and your respective destinations. The Caribbean Tourism Organization believes that sustainability is vital for the Caribbean, as we are small island states profoundly impacted by global changes. Sustainability is not only about environmental conservation, it's also about sustainable livelihoods and creating thriving businesses. This understanding allows our business to prosper, our communities to benefit, and our unique culture, the essence of our islands, to be preserved for generations. While here, please take advantage of the networking opportunities provided to share your ideas, experiences, and best practices. As we aim to foster a legacy that we could be proud of, let us embrace the 5 Ps: people, planet, prosperity, purpose, and partnership. The Caribbean Tourism Organization is deeply committed to regional tourism development and understands the importance of partnership. In this regard, I also extend an invitation to everyone joining us here today to the CTO's Caribbean Week in New York from June 16th to 21st. There we will explore CTO's 2024 theme, Celebrating Diversity, Connecting the Globe. This week in New York promises to be exciting and informative, and if this conference here in Grenada is any indication of how we will deliver, you could expect another spectacular CTO event. Earlier, ladies and gentlemen, I expressed gratitude to the government and people of Grenada for their hospitality. And before I go, I want to share how real this has been to me. When I was a college student, I had the privilege of being roommates with several students from Grenada who introduced me to the famous oil down. So last evening, I mentioned to someone that before I leave, I would like to get some oil down. He told me, well, this time of year it's difficult because breadfruit is out of season. But then he added, I have 1 breadfruit left at my house, and I will prepare a special oil down dish for you and your colleagues. I then got an invitation to join him and his family for lunch on Wednesday. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a great example of hospitality at its best. Thank you again, Grenada. Let's make this conference a milestone in our continued growth in sustainable tourism development. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we recognize the arrival of our Prime Minister, the Honorable Deacon Mitchell. Mrs. Regis Prosper started her speech by recognizing Earth Day. And I just want to share a little something with you. So I found out that Earth Day started in 1970. And in 1970, you had a mission that went up to space. And while they were there, they were taking pictures, of course, of all the planets. So they took a picture of the Earth and said, this is a planet worth saving. Just wanted to share that. So it's 54 years now. Thank you so very much. We now invite a tourism and hospitality student from the St. George's University to share a collaborative poetic piece entitled A Sustainable Dream.
In the heart of the Caribbean, where azure waters gleam, lies a promise of sustainability like a cherished dream, where the rhythm of life now beats to the 5 Ps refrain, a legacy of sustainable tourism where harmony shall reign. People, the soul of these sun-kissed lands, our stories woven into the very sands. From Grenada's vibrant markets to Barbados's lively streets, our warmth and hospitality every traveler meets. Planet, we vow to conserve and protect our air, our land, our sea, ourselves. From Bahamas' shores to Tobago's reefs, preserving ecosystems from mountains near and steep. The beauty of the Caribbean, so precious, rare and free, must never be compromised for anybody or money. Prosperity must be shared among communities far and wide. The big, the small, we must all share the pie. From Roseau to Castries, equal opportunities for all. Triple bottom line, benefit is a collective cry. Purpose, guiding us with a steadfast hand to fulfill this mission for the benefit of all. A vision of stewardship with each step we take, preserving our cultures for our children's sake. Partnership, this is call to action we must obey. Private sector, public sector, we must unite. The goal for sustainable tourism is surely worth the fight. Reducing our consumption of imported items will assist the achievement of economic progress. Reusing will enable the Caribbean to prosper. Recycling items will even be better. In the tapestry of islands where dreams take flight, the 5 Ps of the CTO, a guiding light. A legacy of Caribbean tourism, sustainable and true, where people, planet, prosperity, purpose, and partnerships ensue.
Thank you very much, Donis, and the creatives from Conception Dance Theatre. The youth are certainly our future, and they've got it going on, especially when it comes to that talent, right? Okay, moving along. Now we have, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my esteemed pleasure to welcome the Prime Minister, who is a champion for sustainable development, renewable energy, and empowering the youth. His clear vision for the prosperity of all Grenadians is seen through his wisdom and advocacy for a transformative and sustainable Grenada. Please stand and join me in welcoming the Prime Minister, Honorable Deacon Mitchell.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please have your seat. It sounds like the only Caribbean people are the ones sitting at the front. Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. All right. Well, thank you for having me this Monday morning. It's a pleasure to be here. I hope for those who are visiting, you are finding your time here enjoyable as well. And so since this is tourism, let me take the opportunity to welcome you to Grenada, pure Grenada, the Isle of Spice, where everything is nice. And if you don't like oil long, you can try some curry goat and rice and peas. If you don't like that, then I think there's a lot of snapper, lambi or conch, or any type of seafood that you want, including perhaps the best yellowfin tuna that you can find anywhere in the world. So please try and ensure that you eat some good ITEL food, as the Jamaicans would say, before you leave. This is a long and distinguished list. I want to take the opportunity to recognize the Minister for Tourism, Senator the Honorable Adrian Thomas, and to his immediate left, his colleague, Minister Lennox Andrews, Minister for, amongst many things, agriculture and the marine resources. I want to recognize the President of the Senate, Dr. Desmond Williams, Secretary General of the Caribbean Tourism Authority, the keynote speaker, Mr. Adam Stewart, and all distinguished ladies and gentlemen who are here with us this morning. I have a prepared speech, and I will do my best to read it. But I thought on the way over here, I should ask whether there were any farmers' representatives or any farmers in this conference. So if there are any farmers, could you identify yourself? All right, I'm counting a handful. Okay, happy. Any fishermen? Any agro-processors? Food processors? Anybody who works in the supply chain? All right, so this is probably a house of hoteliers. Hoteliers? All right. Restaurateurs? Not even restaurant people? Okay, so perhaps I shouldn't read my speech then. Because if we're talking about sustainable tourism, we can't sustain ourselves. We need the partnership in order to sustain ourselves. So it means that when we have our conversations, we probably have to be a little more inclusive and invite the farmers, the agro-processors, the fishermen, et cetera, the supply chain people, to help us sustain this tourism industry, which is our crown jewel in the Caribbean. Because if we don't, you'll find, I think, a couple of things. These people are not going to defend the tourism sector. And it also then makes it easier for the politicians not to defend the tourism sector. So I will tell you a view I once shared of tourism. And I've worked for a lot of hotels, so I'm not, in a sense, speaking from ignorance. I once felt that it was a sector that was pampered, treated quite well, and that to a large extent has sort of treated our people by rewarding them with low-paying, unskilled jobs. And there is still some element of that. And so, in Grenada's case, once upon a time, there was a very deliberate public education campaign to say tourism is everybody's business. And the question is, why would we have had to do that? It's because people didn't believe that tourism was their business. They didn't believe that tourism was good for them or even good for the country. I think we've come a long way from that, and that the average Grenadian, the average Caribbean person accepts, understands the importance of tourism. But the tourism industry itself needs to do a better job of making sure that it integrates with, connects with, supports and encourages the other sectors of our society that needs to grow as quickly as tourism has grown to ensure that tourism remains sustainable. And we can talk first about the oil lung and the rice and peas and the curry goat and the food, because I think we can accept, certainly in the case of Grenada, for example, that the government is under significant pressure to relax, I would put it that way, the rules as well as the concessions or the duties that we pay on getting food into the island, because many of our hoteliers will tell you it is difficult to get the type of food in the quantities and the quality that they need to sustain and to remain competitive. But if the only solution is to import all of the food, I'm guaranteeing you that our tourism will not be sustainable. And I think we know that. And therefore, we owe it to ourselves, to our farmers, our fishermen, our agro-processors, to ensure that we help them to become part of the solution that we need to make our food more sustainable, to make our food healthier, and to make our food attractive, not just to the tourists, but to those of us who work in the tourism sector and to those of us who live in the Caribbean. So if we're talking partnership, let us go beyond having a room where we are only speaking to ourselves, but to actually speak to the persons who can assist us with the partnership in food. just as important as food is water. Now, many of our islands, all of their water now come from desalination plants. Those of us who are further south, we are able to still rely on surface water. But the reality is, for example, in the case of Grenada, until recently, we have not planned for the growth in tourism, for the growth in commerce, by ensuring that we invest in water conservation, in the smart use of water, in recycling the use of water, etc., etc., etc. And we can take it from the cruise tourism, stayover tourism, all of what comes with it. In many instances, we have, particularly in the dry season, as we are experiencing now in Grenada, significant shortage of water. But again, I think we can accept that sandals per day will consume far more water than even the ministerial complex or school, etc. We should not have to get to the point where we have to decide whether we supply sandals with water or the schools with water. And so we owe it to ourselves to help our governments or policymakers, in fact, identify the priority areas that will, in fact, sustain tourism by saying our capacity to provide the water that we need is going to be significantly challenged if we are not planning to match the growth in our hotels, the growth in our hotel rooms, by investing in the water. And it makes no sense saying it's the government's job, because if they don't do it, or if they do a poor job of it, it simply means your cost of doing business goes up a lot. So you would have a lot more tankers on the road trying to find water from wherever they find it to supply you. And that's a reality. If you drive around this area at this time of the year, you would see the big water tankers trying to get water from all over the place, usually to supply hotels. Mosquitoes. I'm giving very simple examples because, you see, I think oftentimes, and I had a very nice fancy speech, but sometimes it's better to speak plainly. We had COVID. Many of our tourism plant is located in coastal, waterline, mangrove areas where mosquitoes are a challenge. Have we invested in finding solutions that allow us to limit the risk associated from mosquito-borne diseases? Or do we still fumigate, as we've been fumigating for 100 years, around our very hotels that people then need to breathe in the fumigation? And we say to them, you're coming to pure Grenada, you're coming to the Caribbean, where everything is nice and clean. But is it? If the only way we treat with the mosquito challenge is by fumigating. Again, we owe it to find the collective solutions by speaking to persons in the health sector, in the research and development sector, speaking to our scientists, speaking to our University of the West Indies, so they actually help us find solutions to things that will make not just our tourism sustainable, but our livelihoods sustainable. The one part of the speech I will talk about is climate and climate change. And I think we all know that our entire industry faces the existential threat of the climate disaster. So whether it's severe hurricanes, unpredictable rainfall, unpredictable droughts, we experience all of it. How are we, as a tourism industry, going to help our society tackle those issues so that our industry remains sustainable? Why are not our universities becoming the lead researchers in addressing coral restoration? If there are no corals, to a large extent, there are no hotels. There are no beaches. There's no underwater. There's no scuba diving, etc., etc. We actually depend on it. It's part of the core infrastructure needed for the sustainability of our tourism. Therefore, we need to help fund, we need to help advocate, we need to help encourage our universities to create more marine biologists, and to create marine biologists who actually want to do research and find solutions to how we restore coral. How do we treat with our fish stock? It's one planet, It's one circle. And we can't live in a silo. And so I therefore want to encourage us, as we go forward, to be more inclusive, to reach out and invite and speak with all of the other stakeholders who we need to make sure that our tourism is, in fact, a sustainable tourism product, that our tourism product is an enhanced tourism product. We shouldn't have to wait for the folks in New York City to tell us they find ways to eliminate the use of plastics in their restaurants. People shouldn't be coming to the Caribbean and have plastic water in plastic bottles served to them. You know, there are all kinds of materials that are sustainable. There's a hotel called Calabash, for those of you hearing, which is a very lovely property. But the calabash is a plant, a tree, and you get the calabash. And the type of uses that you can use for it is unlimited. You can serve water in it as well. You can serve food in it. And it's probably something someone in Germany will never see in Germany. We have bamboo, dramatically underutilized. We can go on and on. Many of the solutions are actually in our environment, in nature. We perhaps need to look at using them and enhancing them a little bit more. So our practices should incorporate a lot more for indigenous, intangible, intellectual property into a tourism product that not only gives the visitor an experience that they otherwise will never have, but also sustains our product. And I want to end on this note. Yesterday at Spicing, I was with a gentleman from the Maldives, and he was asking me, where is this music coming from? And I'm like, right there. And he's like, what do you mean right there? I'm like, right there, sir. And he's like, where? I was like, it's a steel pan. He'd never heard of a steel pan. He'd never seen a steel pan. And sometimes we take the things we've created for granted. So there's still a lot of education to do about the things the Caribbean has invented, because the steel pan is, in fact, a symbol of sustainability, a symbol of resilience, a symbol of taking what otherwise would have been discarded and creating perhaps the most beautiful musical instrument. We can take the same. We can take the same with many of our indigenous assets in the Caribbean and convert them into continuing to sustain our tourism. Thank you very much for indulging me. Have a good morning.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prime Minister, for your resonating address, which will undoubtedly inspire us as we continue this conversation from today. Our Prime Minister spoke about our precious resources, being inclusive, ensuring that we're integrating everyone, the importance of our linkages, the linkages in tourism. We got to keep those center stage and focused at all times. He spoke about the symbols of resilience. And indeed, we all have some unique attributes that make us special, and we certainly need to continue to move in that direction. It's all about shared vision, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see if we can do that and see how we can be solutions-oriented as we continue on this path in this conference. So it's time to shake a leg. Our sister islands of Carriacou and Petit Martinique are blessed with deep traditions, family ties, beautiful landscapes, and your perfect off-the-grid vacation. It is truly special to me to introduce to you our string band music from the Cradle of Culture, which will be performed today by the Carriacou Culture Train and the Culture Kids. So here we have a special treat
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. The song, just like me now. Okay, I'll raise my volume up a wee bit. Warm greetings we bring to you from Carriacou and Petite Martinique. This is the Culture Train String Band Group and the Culture Kids. We're talking sustainability. I start from the maestro, Mr. Godwin Moses on banjo. Mr. Anderson, leftist Matheson. Me, Neil Basie Matheson. Sam Matheson, all the Mathesons in the middle. Fineman Moses. Yuslin Alexis. Aliyah Matheson. Aliza Plenty. Yahim Alexander. And Denver Bristol. And the lady behind the band, Miss Rena Mills. Oh, that's it. Oh, I nearly didn't find you. And our job is simple, to welcome you. This song was composed by Miss Nalin Joseph and Neil Basie Matheson. We are there. Stand and take a bow. Miss Nalin Joseph. Oh, that's me. Yeah. This song is just to welcome you all. We welcome you all. One and all, we welcome you all. Welcome you all. In the heart of the Caribbean,
a dream set sail.
We gather as one nation.
Without fail.
From every island, from every shore. For a future where sustainability soar. We welcome all, we welcome all.
To this Spice Island,
where minds unite and vision shines bright.
We welcome all.
From the rhythm of the Caribbean breeze,
we welcome all.
Where dreams are set across blue seas,
we welcome all.
Let innovation lead the way.
We welcome.
With the dawn of this day,
we welcome all.
With passion in our hearts,
we welcome all.
We will beat the odds. And purpose in our strides,
we welcome all.
We'll navigate stormy tides. We welcome all, we welcome all.
To the Spice Island,
where minds unite and vision shines bright.
We welcome all.
From the rhythm of the Caribbean breeze,
we welcome all.
Where dreams are set across blue seas,
we welcome all.
So let's embark on this journey grand.
We welcome you all.
Hand in hand across the sand.
We welcome all.
For in unity our strength resides.
We welcome you all.
At this Caribbean Sustainable Tourism Conference.
We welcome all.
Where hopes abide.
We welcome you all.
People, planet, prosperity.
Welcome you all.
Purpose, partnership. In
we
unity, with these guiding stars, we will pave the way.
We welcome you all.
Towards this Caribbean Sustainable Tourism Conference.
We welcome you
Come
all.
what may. We welcome you all.
We welcome
one
you
and
all. We welcome you all.
One and all.
We welcome you all.
To this Spice Island.
We welcome you all.
From the Caribbean.
Thank you.
Now we take you from this being welcome from Africa to Carriacou and Petite Martinique, where our ancestors brought this tradition over to us. One of the most unique dances you would find in Carriacou and Petite Martinique is the Big Drum Nation dance. And we are proud to hold that dear to our hearts. We give you, oh, I marvel at the culture of this beautiful island. Yes, we fight so hard to save those traditions. It is amazing how throughout the years this culture has evolved. And today we see all kayaks are involved. From the building of a tomb to the gathering for maroon, you hear the sweet songs of the drums and the songs that go along.
Anansiyo, Anansiyo, sorry Baba,
Anansiyo, sorry Baba,
Anansiyo, sorry Baba, Anansiyo, Anansiyo, sorry Baba, Anansiyo, sorry Baba, Anansiyo, sorry Baba.
It is a thrill to see the skills of the dancers when they perform, when they dance to the beat of romantic drum. The floody glamour and the moves that they portray is like an undecided interest all the way. With new dancers like Yoselin, Aliyah and Alisa, as soon as they enter in the ring, everybody start to sing.
Romantico Joe. Aye. Daule, daule.
Do you think, girls?
Aye. Romantico Joe.
Oh, look at the flair.
Aye. Daule, daule.
Aye, dancer.
Daule, daule. Daule, daule. Daule, daule. Daule, daule. Daule.
Now, folks, if you guys want to see all of Carriacou's culture on the one stage, on the one weekend, you have to come to Carriacou this weekend. Yeah, it's the Maroon String Band Music Festival going down this weekend. From Friday till Sunday, you will see all of our cultures on one stage. This is a wee dance. It's unique again to Carriacou and Petit Martinique. It stemmed from Petit Martinique, sorry. And now it is prominent in the village of Leicester. It's what we call the English quadrille dance. It's mixed with the Scottish, English, and the African. Some wise set of fellas, musicians, come together and put this wee dance, this wee song together. It goes something like this. Yes, Mama sent she in the bun for water.
Little girl come shake.
Mama sent she in the bun for water.
Little girl come shake.
Hey, dancer. And when I go tell she mama.
The little girl come shake, she la la.
And when I go tell she mama.
The little girl come shake, she la la.
Now have a look at the footworks, eh? Because that's where the dance is. Nice. Do you think? All right, children, I want you to go down to the crowd and choose somebody randomly to come. Miss Yoselin, I want you to go and get Mr. Adrian Thomas. So you go get Mr. Adrian Thomas, and the kids will choose somebody randomly. And they have to partake in this. This is what sustainability is all about. We take the kids.
When I go tell she mama.
Okay.
When I go tell she mama.
Yoselin, grab somebody else. Grab the gentleman right in front here. Nice. There we go. That's what sustainability is all about. Denver. We are here to sustain and keep this thing going. Now you may not hear that, but the children are telling them what to do. All right, Aliyah. You see what Aliyah is doing, Sadiq and Mitchell? That's the idea. Nice. All right, let's see who have it now. Mr. Dick and Mitchell, you have to do it now. Let's go. She sent me in the pan of water. I dancer. She sent me in the pan of water. Jaime, your partner getting it? Nice. I dancer. Okay, Yoselin, I see you have him there. Keep him right there. All right, so you got it. Hey, dancer.
She in the pond for water.
Little boy did shake up Chilala.
When I go tell she mama.
Little boy did shake up Chilala.
When I go tell
all right,
she
then,
mama.
boy, keep your partner there. Give it up for everybody. That's what sustainability is all about. So, Deacon Mitchell, it look like you've been practicing to dance. Oh, a good teacher. Oh, so you see, there we go. We are here to teach the young ones. Now the young ones are teaching us. That's what sustainability is all about. We thank you. We thank you. And with that, we urge you to come to Karaoke and Petit Martinique this weekend for our Maroon and String Band Music Festival. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, we urge you to come and see for yourself. There are some islands down in the south you know little about. Miss Petra. That's my Grenada, Karaoke, and Petit Martinique. These islands so unique. 3 different islands, 3 different cultures, interesting to explore. So I urge you, don't stay too long, come and see where we all belong. You have to come and see for yourself, come behold what we sell, what a country can tell. Not just beautiful beach or a culture that's rich, you'll enjoy our friendship. We urge you to come and see, come behold what we sell, what a country can tell. Aye, dancer. Not just beautiful beach or a culture that's rich, you'll enjoy your friendship.
Our friendly, we tell our history, Shakespeare mass and big drum dance. Maroon Fest, regatta, and tombstones that we all cannot miss.
Aye, dancer.
Island, and White Island, romantic picnic. In minutes we'll take you there. Just
Come and see for yourself.
come behold what we sell, what the country entails. Not just beautiful beach or a culture that's rich, you'll enjoy your friendship.
We urge you to come and
Come and see for yourself, come behold what we sell, the country entails.
Not just beautiful
Beach or a culture that's rich, enjoy ship.
True sustainability with the government of Grenada, the Grenada Tourism Authority, and you, the Caribbean, the world. We're going to keep all our cultures alive for the next 999 years to come. Mark my words. We thank you. We thank you. But, as I say, true sustainability, we're going to keep this thing going. You see them performing dances on our tradition dance. But they also are fantastic musicians. So we'll portray a little something just for you to make you see that this future is in great hands. I mentioned the banjo player is one of the greatest. That's his grandson playing. He's one fantastic guitar player too. But you won't see him playing guitar today. Anderson Leftis Matheson, his daughter is sitting in front playing ukulele. That's what sustainability is all about. Aliza Plenty, that's Rena Mills' niece. Well, I have no children here because I'm looking for somebody to make a children with. But yes, we gonna keep this. So all the rest is my children. Yeah, I'll claim Denver. Denver would be mine. Yeah, and that's what we want to do. That's what we're here to do, to keep our traditions, our cultures going, as I say, for many, many, many years, as 999 in the first instance. I remember when I was young, love when music was something I yearned. Needlessly to say, that was the music of the day. We used to play a nice melody from G. That was the sweetest thing for we. When the song of the banjo in the air, that is all the people want to hear. You hear Mosman? He's the master. You
So move your feet, move your waist. Sweet, sweet music in the place. You can't stand up like a yo-yo. You got to let your body go. Take a wine, take a grind.
Take a good wine.
Don't waste this precious time. What will happen tomorrow? None of us don't really know.
That's why we have to pass it down. None of us don't know what will happen. So we will continue indulging the children.
I remember those glorious
Love where music has brought we great tears.
no one can deny that the standard was really high.
And when you hear Christmas time comes around, look out for your name in the song.
With all the women singing, party time, all are we dancing.
Pay attention to the banjo, man. That's the sweetest thing you could hear Christmas morning coming in, serenading by you. We heard you again.
Sweet
Come to karaoke, Pity Martinic, and you will get the taste
you
of
got
this.
to let your body go.
If you can't
Take a
come,
wine,
bring us to
take a
Grenada,
cry.
bring us in the Caribbean, bring
Don't
us in the
waste
world,
this precious
and we'll showcase
time.
this
What will
to you
happen
guys.
tomorrow? None of us don't really know.
We thank you.
Thank you.
We thank you.
Thank you.
We thank
Thank
you.
you.
We thank you. We thank you.
So I think they deserve another really loud round of applause. You have been so wonderful, doing that freestyle. Apart from Prime Minister's freestyling on his speech, this, though, takes the cake. Would you agree? Wonderful. Passionate, hardworking, sophisticated, and fun, with contagious laughter that fills a room, are only some of the qualities of my Chief Executive Officer, Ms. Petra Roach. It gives me great pleasure to introduce her and, of course, to invite her to introduce our keynote speaker, Ms. Petra Roach.
Prime Minister, Minister of Tourism, Minister of Agriculture, esteemed guest, Secretary General, my task is really very simple and quite easy actually, because the man Adam Stewart is truly a remarkable human being who supports people, planet, prosperity, purpose and partnerships. That is his identity, that is his legacy. And it's easy to say that he has achieved much beyond his 43 years, but somehow Adam continues to do it all. He's resilient, he's thoughtful, he's conscientious. And these are just a few of the attributes that I can use to describe this Caribbean leader and my dear friend. His commitment to innovative decision-making keeps his impressive career in motion. And it's easy to say that he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, but we know that his dad was a hard taskmaster who didn't suffer foods gladly, and had Adam not proved his stewardship, but would not have hesitated to remove him from his role as his successor. Adam has embraced his role as executive chairman of Sandals Resorts International, just like he has done with everything else, and in a similar fashion to his phenomenal dad. He's taken the mantle of responsibility and never looked back. He is a disruptor who pushes the envelope to ensure that the Sandals brand is constantly evolving and improving, and when you think it can't get better, some new innovation comes along. I can stand here today and read the long list of achievements and accolades, but as Adam says, Long before it came trendy for companies to talk about sustainability, we were building walkways for land crabs, preserving ancient trees, and limiting water use. These are three standout qualities that we have repeatedly seen about his work ethic. He's a compassionate leader, he's an innovative disruptor, he's a community-driven collaborator. And beyond the boardroom, it is really these principles of collaboration with the community that sets his leadership style apart from others and revolutionizes the spectrum of the industry. Initiatives such as the farm-to-table movement, while advocating for the interest of disenfranchised groups. Here locally, we have Grenada, which is one of the elaborate collaborations with whom Sandals works, and the women who help others achieve that project is also supported by Sandals. He is chair of the Jamaica Tourism Linkages Council, as well as several other entities. And coming from a family legacy of investing in the Caribbean and giving back, he has always explained that at Sandals, we're on a mission to widen the circle of opportunity in the Caribbean, our home. Everything we do is about our reverence to this diverse region and its people. He's a statesman in the room and a soldier on the ground, impatient yet tolerant, innovative yet conscious. And Adam, my dear friend, you have faced professional and personal adversity time and time again, but with an immense level of grace, composure, and class that is true and natural reflection of who you are and what you represent at your core. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to welcome to the podium our Caribbean leader and dear friend, Mr. Adam Stewart.
Does this work? Good morning. Good morning. The Prime Minister said the Caribbean people must be in the front. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So, Prime Minister, you messed me up. You came up here with your real talk speech, and I had a big speech. I said, no. Me and the Prime Minister are on the same page today. So I left my speech down there. We're going to have some real talk today. But Prime Minister, thank you for having us in your magnificent country. Minister of Tourism, Agriculture, the ministers from around this incredible archipelago known as the Caribbean, members of the media, tourism, thoroughbreds. Prime Minister is right, we need some agricultural, manufacturing, and the rest in the room. And of course, everyone who came from near and far. So when you were asked by Petra to come and make a speech like this, many things run through your mind and thought. And they gave me 20 minutes to talk. And for those who know me, I can talk for an hour and 20 minutes on any one of the 5 Ps. But I think, as I was gathering my thoughts in preparation for coming down here, I said to myself, what's the highest value added that I could give to this room to try bridge the gap? And the reality is that I sit in a very unique position in my role where I work across 13 Caribbean islands day to day in different industries, but hospitality being at its center. The word Caribbean, by virtue whether we accept it or not, the Caribbean puts us, or the world puts the Caribbean together. It is an archipelago that is united whether we like it or not. I arrived here last night on a blue passport. It says Caribbean Community. It's not a blue American passport, it's a blue Jamaican passport. And that Caribbean community is an amazing thing. Each of these islands have their superpowers. And it is my own belief system that the center of our core superpower is hospitality. My father used to always say that when the Almighty created this region, he spent a little bit more time here than anywhere in the world. The world is a big place. It's a fascinating place. It's a place that we, for the run of time that we get here, will never have enough time to explore all of it. I believe we believe, at the center of how we do business is a belief system, not only because we have nowhere else to go. We are intrinsically indigenous to this region of the world, but this is the greatest region on God's planet for many, many reasons. I'll touch on a few. My dream when I grew up is to plan my business where I go Jamaica, Antigua, St. Lucia, Barbados, Turks and Caicos, the Bahamas, Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Curacao, all around the most festive and joyous times of year. Carnival, crop over, Wednesday Wednesdays in Jamaica, anything you want to call it, because there is magic happening down here. But we must start this conversation of sustainability, Prime Minister, to follow in your wake with the acceptance that this only works before we get into academia, buzzwords, next generational thinking. This only works if it works for everyone. I like to start my thought and my thinking in looking to the past and paying respect where respect is due. There are so many that came before us that put thought into how we got here. I could call it Sir Royston in the country of Grenada, tourism icon. I could look in Jamaica to the Issa family, who are technically our competitors. Of course, my father. I could look over to the Dominican Republic, the Ranieri family. There are amazing people across a multitude of sectors that put the work in that took us to where we are today. And it is our duty to understand how we got here, how the marketing was done, how the airlift was built, how we got to this point that brings us today. We must look backwards, we must comprehend, we must understand before we start to look forward as to where we're going. The world owes us nothing, ladies and gentlemen. Just because we're pretty down here in the Caribbean, and when you zoom out to that picture 53 years ago that said this is a planet worth sustaining, I bring to your attention that the prettiest part of that planet picture is the archipelago of the Caribbean. But it does not mean people need to come here. People that travel to the Caribbean have a choice. And this is the world we're living in. And our number one challenge right now in this very moment is to understand our customer. We have a young Prime Minister here, a lion of a leader. He will naturally think differently because of his age than previous leaders who may have been elders. There are a multitude of generations at any given time in any segment of tourism. Villas, boutiques, calabash, sandals. There's a multitude of generations, and the magic is to figure out how to get them to come here continuously on an ongoing basis and to widen that net of inclusivity. So we could talk people, planet, prosperity, purpose, partnership. But in my limited time that I get here to speak today, I think the most powerful part of the 5 Ps is partnership. Public-private partnership. The public sector has a role, the private sector has a role, and to the degree to with which those two things come together determines your cadence and your future. And if you don't remember, I'll take you back 3.5 years ago. In 2020, on May 14th, when the World Health Organization bestowed a global pandemic, our borders shut for the first time since jet aviation existed. We closed borders. It was an inconceivable thought at the time. We had no idea where we were going. We were living literally minute to minute. That moved to hour, moved day to day, and nobody had the answer. Protocols didn't exist. Social distancing was a brand new terminology, and we had no idea what to do. What did we do? We did what you do in a crisis. We pulled together. We unified. We, for the first time in the Caribbean, recognized that we are only as strong as we are together. We worked, thank you. We worked, Prime Minister, with the farmers. We worked with the transportation sector, the tour providers, the fishers, the entertainers, even the priests and the pastors who officiate weddings in our beautiful countries came together. To some degree, from my vantage point, Some did it better than others. But the fact remains that the Caribbean was the world's fastest recovering region anywhere. So how could we be the fastest, the safest, if the talent didn't exist down here in the Caribbean? And we as a Caribbean people have a thing that we do all too often, where we believe that if it comes from overseas, somehow it's better than who we are down here. And let me tell you, I chair in Jamaica the Linkages Council for the government of Jamaica under the Ministry of Tourism. And yes, it is a fact that 80 cents or thereabouts of every dollar that comes in goes back out. Many years ago, we were having a conversation about the differences between tourism, manufacturing, agriculture, and believe you me, our democracies have matured. The depth of our talent has widened. Opportunities are greater today than there were many years ago. And to the degree that we can get those things to work together, the main thrust, the cut and thrust, agriculture, manufacturing, tourism, and all the services working in harmony, private sector and public sector, will define our future. From a business point of view, those things must happen before we can get into some of the things that require cash and out of the box thinking at large. There's been more change and advancement in tourism globally in the last decade than there has been in the last 50 years. Despite Boeing's glitches at the moment, they will be building more aircraft than they have ever built. Airbus, Embraer, people are traveling. We're lucky. We're lucky in that we are fascinating. We are a fascinating people with rich culture. The way we talk sounds like a melody. The way we dance, some of us not so good, some better than others. The coming together of our gastronomic fare. Prime Minister, you spoke about the yellowfin tuna and all of what is provided down here. And the amazing thing is that I go island to island and it's all similar, but it's all different. It's all unique. It's one of a kind. So our job, through my eyes in the short time I get to talk, is unity. It's to come together. It's to stand together. It's to take head on the challenges that we face and to find a way to include everybody. Everybody. If you go back 30 years ago in tourism, we were talking about employment. We're beyond employment today, far beyond employment. Jamaica, for the first time in my lifetime, has unemployment of 4.25%. In my entire youth growing up, it was north of 15%, often around 23%, just to pull one stat. And clap for Jamaica, that's all right. It means that there's more opportunity, which means that we as business leaders and we as policymakers in government have to dig deeper. We have to stop, as Prime Minister said, relying or pointing to say that's government's business or that's private sector's business. The sooner we come together with a collective to understand that it is our Caribbean business, is the sooner that we will get advancement. What does that look like? Training and development. There are minimum standards that customers today will or will not accept. We have to prepare, even if it's Mother Nature, for the arrival of the visitor that has the choice to go anywhere in the world or come here. What does that look like? That looks like making sure that we're easy to deal with, that we are seamless, frictionless, that we are clean, that we are safe, that when people come here, setting that table allows the customer to feel within themselves that this is a magical place that they're going to tell everybody about, which then allows us to unlock the potential of that superpower of our people, who we are. Customers don't owe us anything. They don't have to come here, and believe you me, this new generation traveling, they do not have the loyalty of the former. They're explorers. They have the internet and YouTube to guide them without ever leaving their living room. So if we're to really talk about sustainability, we have to do a number of things in harmony. Let me start with our people. It is a fact. I take a view that you've already won the lottery depending on which country you're born into. There are countries on the other side of the world that at any given Sunday, there could be international military attacks. That's not something that we have a challenge with here in the Caribbean. We are at large a very safe, at peace set of people. It's not something to take for granted. If you're born, thank you. If you're born into Grenada or Antigua or Jamaica, you've already won the lottery. That doesn't define the economics of the household you're born into. It means that that whole side of life is not something you have to worry about. So our job as a Caribbean people, like all of us, we have nowhere to go, is to figure out how to get the advancement of our people. My father got on an airplane for the first time at 18 years old, and he went to the United Kingdom. And if he told me this story once, he told it to me 100 times. He said, I couldn't believe, having grown up in Ocho Rios, Jamaica, on a beach, when I arrived in London and I saw these buildings. I'd never seen anything like it. I couldn't comprehend it. He said in that moment, it set the tone for how his brain thought about the ability of what man can achieve and what people together can achieve. The backbone of what built Sandals Resorts International is a fundamental belief in the camaraderie and the teamwork of what began in Jamaica and has now spread across the Caribbean. But the message is one of exposure. If we are born in small Caribbean countries, into families with limited resources, we have to find a way to expose our people, to train them, to give them the opportunities, to show them the difference between banking, insurance, manufacturing, hospitality, you name it. Because the greatest thing we can do for one another is to teach a man to fish beyond giving him a fish. And those two things come together. Those two things come together in the public and the private sector working together. It's like saying customer service is a department vis-a-vis customer service is everyone's business. We know better today. We know better today that it is not on either one of us. It is both of us to come together. And believe you me, we employ 20,000 Caribbean nationals. We are by far the largest employer in the Caribbean. And the difference between St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the island of Grenada and Jamaica, it's all one thing. Expose the people, give them the opportunity, and let them go. They will do a better job than you can even comprehend if you allow the beauty of our Caribbean cultures to come out in warm and genuine hospitality. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the secret. Yes, we build beautiful buildings in Sandals. And yes, we have this amazing machine called the Sandals Corporate University, where 100% of all training and development of our 20,000 people is completely underwritten and paid for by the company, free of cost. You can go from not being able to read and write to getting your master's, paid for by the organization. Why? Because it's a winning formula. It's a win-win. It's great business for us, and we're advancing our people and uplifting them at all times. Now, what we have become as an organization, the collective, going back to COVID, I saw the most beautiful harmony take place. I saw cruise ships working with land-based operators in a way that had never happened before. Never happened before. I saw the transportation sector come in, the craft vendors, the whole supply chain, Prime Minister, the whole linkages come together to say, for the first time ever, we have one problem. Without cash flow, without people coming here, without inspiring confidence, we're all dead in the water. What we cannot allow ourselves to do is to forget what just happened 3 years ago. We cannot allow ourselves to be on the side of success because we have mostly recovered to forget. I believe we must approach all of this with humility, with inclusivity, with open dialogue in order for it all to come. So I could sit here and talk about ESG today, and I know that's going to be a major part of the discussion. I don't think that's the highest value that I bring here, Petra and team, Donna. We could sit here and talk about conservation of water. I hope we're beyond that, to know that, we can't be debating that. Prime Minister, When you spoke about the glass bottle, I made sure I put down my plastic bottle and brought up my glass bottle. You couldn't be more right. You couldn't be more right. We are so far behind in this region of the world on recycling. Miles behind. There is more money in this world today that we will never, ever, as a Caribbean people, be able to compete with. You cannot compete with the United Arab Emirates and their money. You cannot compete with Abu Dhabi and Dubai. But there's a difference. There's a warmth when I got off of the airplane last night and arrived in this country that I felt. If you don't feel this music that was played from Carriacou, then you're not alive. If we can't storytell and inspire, I love the elder generation keeping the traditions to the younger generation because we've lost too much of it. We're importing crafts from Indonesia and China and Mexico with our country's brands on them. They need to be made here. The talent is here. And if we believe we can fool the customer, you're short-lived, you're on borrowed time. So we have the food, the gastronomic fare, we have the music. Lord knows we've created categories of music that have gone global that we haven't been able to fully capitalize on. Wellness. This is pure Grenada, ladies and gentlemen. Just step outside the air-conditioned building and open your eyes. It's off the beaten path, within reach, Mother Nature overload, it's nirvana. It's what people are looking for today. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we just opened a new sandals there. So similar, but so different. Turks and Caicos, the Bahamas, Antigua, 365 beaches, one for every day of the year. You want me to keep going? Because we market the world. Let them know about this Caribbean that we are down here. This sustainability to me believes with a full-blown Caribbean commitment where we believe the words that we say. We live them and we express the maturity in public and private sector to go back to COVID days when we had no other choice. To tackle every problem that you and I both know needs to be done. To have real talk about how we got here, good and bad. There's only one American Airlines, huh? When they talk to me in Sandals, they're talking to me about all the destinations. But it's just one American Airlines. That's coming there. The challenges that we have to get more American Airlines flights in Grenada or Jamaica, it's still one American Airlines you're talking to. You win where you're frictionless. Tourism, ladies and gentlemen, is a path of least resistance. Make it easy for me to get there. Make it frictionless from my experience, and the cadence will be X-fold. So, where are we today? We have an amazing opportunity. And I applaud what CTO is doing here. We have an amazing opportunity to start on this level. The level of full-blown commitment, the level of humility, the level of recognizing that the world owes us nothing, the level of understanding that the world, Elton John sang a song when Princess Diana died. And in that song, it's called Candle in the Wind. He said, there is more to see than can be seen. And what he's saying is that you don't have enough time. You, 8 billion population, don't have enough time to see it all. And we don't need everybody to see it all. We just need them to see this part of the world and inspire them to come here. And if we can get that cadence, and if we can get that inclusivity, and if we can have these conversations about linkages and working together and not stand opposed one another, recognizing that we are not competing with each other. Antigua is not competing with St. Lucia. St. Lucia is not competing with Grenada. Grenada is not competing with Jamaica. The world says Caribbean, they put us together. We're in the pot whether we like it or not. We're competing against France, Italy, Germany, London, Paris, Singapore, Dubai. That's who we are truly competing against. And what we can offer differently, I promise you, they can't do it. Their beaches are not our beautiful. Their people are not warm and friendly the way that our people are warm and friendly. Our stories are fascinating. And this is the future of Caribbean tourism through my lens. So Sandals, through my lens, is no longer an organization. It is a platform for opportunity. It is a benchmark for the Caribbean dream. It is an example that it can be done because it is being done. So let me give you some stats. We serve 15 million cups of Jamaica Blue Mountain coffee across the Caribbean a year. 15 million. All of it comes from the Blue Mountain, proudly Jamaican. We serve over 50 rums from across the Caribbean, all of it coming from the Caribbean. We will cook and use ground provisions where we can. And when I say where we can, Winston Anderson is here, and right here in Grenada, one of his core jobs when we set up Sandals, if you can believe it, 10 years now in Grenada, was to work with agriculture, where we will use upward of 80% of all provisions, fruits, and vegetables in our hotels, locally sourced farm to table. So a part of the reason why the government of Jamaica asked me to chair the Linkages Council is because in Jamaica, 90% of everything we serve across our 12 hotels in Jamaica is served from a farm onto a plate within 24 hours at the standards that we set. And we believe we run pretty high standards. I believe they're the best. So if we can do it, I have a hard time listening to any investor, no matter where you're from, indigenous, local, or international, to say it can't be done. It takes effort. It takes an extra phone call or two to care, to dig deeper, to find the artisans, to organize them, to give them basic training that they may not have had exposure to, for them to interact with our people. We have no problems in our company. And we have at least one day a week where local artisans come on property in every Sandals across the Caribbean. We have no problem with our artisans. I don't buy that. We have no problem with our taxi drivers. So I don't buy that either. We have no problem finding mostly what we want, and what we can't find, we can give you case study after case study where we said we need to do better. Honorable Minister of Tourism from Turks and Caicos is here, and on Monday we signed an agreement with the government of Turks and Caicos with the Sandals Corporate University. This Monday coming, 1 week from today, on the advancement, working together with the Sandals Corporate University and the government of the Turks and Caicos Islands for one single purpose: expose, uplift, educate, advance the people of the Caribbean so that they can achieve their own economic goals and dreams through our thought and efforts. And that's called a cycle of life, ladies and gentlemen. You guys still with me? The passion must come on the inside. All of what I just said is not a buzzword. Beyond that, we have to design the most interesting hotels, lodging, villas, whether they're eco, whether they're boutique, whether they're big, whether they're small. There's something appropriate out there. We have to recognize that the money spent, hospitality and lodging is one of the most capital-intense industries on God's planet. And you live in a revolving cycle trying to catch yourself. You're trying to keep up with. My hotel here is 10 years old. It's time. It's now time to start to reinvent it. Why? It's magnificent. Tell your friends, tell them to book, please, come to us. But it never ends. Design changes. The way we dress changes. Trends change. And you can't become outdated. You do not get a hall pass to be outdated for our core customer today. We love in the Caribbean to talk about how many people come to the Caribbean and our return rate. If you don't reinvent yourself, that will go down and down because there's more sexy and there's more beauty and more capital being spent in other parts of the world. That's what I mean by humility. You have to stop, pause, figure out who your customer is. My customer is my age. They're my age kind of across the board. Last night I was watching entertainment in Sandals, La Source, Grenada, and I was looking at 4 generations in front of me. And I'm sitting there with our chief operating officer, our managing director, Winston Anderson, Sean Acosta, saying, how do we make sure that everybody's having a good time? We're watching the entertainment. Is it resonating? Are we good enough? What are we doing with our buildings? What's happening with food? So when people say things like, innovative or experiential, I promise you if I passed out little pads and said, everybody write down in 3 words what experiential means to you, you will have 50 different examples of what that means. So, Prime Minister and everybody here, I believe that the more we can come together, the more we can have these conversations and agree, the more we can reduce frictions for our travel agent partners to work with us, our tour operator partners, our airline partners, above the line, in the marketplace, the more we can drive marketing I love to say this statistic. There are 65,000 registered businesses in Jamaica. And there are probably 365,000 unregistered businesses in Jamaica. And the goal of every business, ladies and gentlemen, you see, when you can get to the stage in life, if I do this, right, what brand is it that has a tick? Nike. You see, when you get to that level, the world knows who you are. You see, when you can say Louis Vuitton and the adjectives that follow, luxury, quality, the world knows who you are. Those 65,000 businesses in Jamaica or here in Grenada are all trying to do one thing at the end of the day. Build a brand. A brand becomes a password for opportunity. That opportunity linkages right down through our communities. Sandals is a super brand. Started from ground zero, the Caribbean dream, top 500 brand in the world. And that should make all of us as Caribbean people not only proud, but show that it is possible. And we have to protect one another. We have to protect one another. The opening of this hotel, Sandals Azores Grenada, 10 years ago, the incredible Sir Royston Hopkins stood up and he said, I'm speaking to all of the competitors in Grenada. When Sandals comes to town, everyone, all tides will rise. We will get more airlift, and we did. There'll be more employment, and there was. There'll be more foreign exchange in the banking sector. This is a fact. We'll buy more from agriculture than exists before. Prime Minister, these are past achievements. These are things that we said would happen, and they did. The time is now to go deeper. And that's what sustainability means to me, because if we can get that right, the framework, and it's not to say that it's not happening, please don't misunderstand me. It's to say we have to drive it, and we have to fight for it every day. All of those things, because the first thing that gets cut in business is planet. First thing. It's expensive to care for the planet. People say it's good business, but it is expensive. Why do we not have recycling facilities across the Caribbean? Why? It's expensive, and it's inconvenient, and culturally we're not adapted. You go to Europe, there are 3, sometimes 4 garbages. One for fruits, one for plastics. I've seen places that have taken that, they divide it up, and then there's nowhere to put it because the landfills are not capable, they're not programmed. So my highest value added as I flew down here last night, I said, I want to talk real. And PM, you did the same thing today. Fight for our people. Fight for our region. Fight for the ability to earn cash flows across all, and the inclusivity, restaurateurs, all the things we've named. And then from there, if those things happen, then you can have a deeper conversation on planet and all the various challenges. But the decisions that come out of this conference, not wasting a moment, must happen now. Everything takes planning into the future. And PM, that goes down to town planning, and preparation. And I promise you, I assure you, if you fact check me, and we go island to island, destination by destination, we are more similar than we are not. Our challenges are so similar at large, overall. And those of us that can organize, come together, agricultural team coming together, manufacturing, tourism, in a non-adversarial, inclusive way, with a level of maturity, ladies and gentlemen, the future is beyond comprehension in terms of bright. Because when it comes down to brass tacks, it's product. When you land here, you are in the product. And the Almighty gave us the most beautiful product to work with, bar none, anywhere across the world. So, thank you, Petra. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Grenada, and all the participants for being here. It is my great honor. We are going to get up tomorrow morning, just like we did this morning, and fight for this region of the world. We are going to get up, and we're going to innovate, and we're going to evolve, and we're going to work together. I'd like to offer publicly that anything that my company does, Sandals Corporate University, training and development, we're launching a university right now with FIU and the University of the West Indies in my late father's name, the Gordon Butch Stewart International Hospitality School, to take deeper. This is not for Sandals staff and team members. Sandals staff get to go in the corporate university. This is now a standalone university that's going to try and infuse the magic of what we do and expose the people of the Caribbean. Independently, a hospitality school. It will have an open campus that will be online, physical bricks and mortar in Jamaica. We'll build that over. The Sandals Foundation. The Sandals Foundation is 10 years old. It's put $100 million into the Caribbean communities, all paid for by our customers, our company, our international partners, building schools. We focus on education, the environment, and community. These are all ideas that started with a single idea like this conference to say, what if we did this? What if we got a little from a lot, not a lot from a little? What kind of change could we effect and bring across the Caribbean? So any one of the things that we do, I encourage you to harass me, harass my team. Let's work together and let's fight for the future of this incredible archipelago known as the Caribbean. Thank you so much for the opportunity and for having me today.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's why when we were thinking about who would be the most hard-hitting and not only hard-hitting, but I think, Adam, what is really fantastic is that everything that you commit to doing is actually realized. And at the core of it, I feel that there is a deep commitment to the region and to our people. And I think that it's these gold standards that we need to ensure are replicated across the region. We heard you call for greater collaboration. We heard you say that we are more same than different. We heard you talking about getting together and fighting against the competition which is out there, the United Emirates, etc. And I really feel that, again, just as Prime Minister threw away his script and you have thrown away your script, I really am going to ask every speaker to throw away your scripts, recognizing that we have to get real about the challenge that we are facing. And I really believe that we are at the point where enough is enough in terms of just the chat. We really need to craft an action plan which is going to resonate for the future generations to come. And we are so appreciative of the fact that you were extremely busy. I know that your sons promised tomorrow, but you made the time to pop in today. And again, you know, the Caribbean is very privileged to have you. We have a small token of appreciation for you. So if you can come and join me, and Donna, if you can come and join as well. And again, in a spirit of authenticity and sustainability, we have a beautiful piece of art, which is by one of our top local artists, Mr. Teddy Frederick. And this piece of art is really quite touching, because can anyone recognize exactly? So we want you to take a bit of our history with you. Maurice Bishop was a disruptor as well. He really fought to ensure that not only Grenada, but that the Caribbean had a global presence and that we were seen and we're a force to be reckoned with. And this could be the start of a new collection for you. I'm sure the next one could be Marcus Garvey. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Minister, Prime Minister, if you can take a photo.
Hold on, we need a PM in here. Legitimize us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Petra.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we recognize the departure of our Prime Minister and thank him for his attendance. I also now take this opportunity to thank Petra. Of course, she's unable to thank herself for doing such a splendid job. And of course, to you, our viewing audience, and all of you who are in attendance, thank you so much for joining us. Now, just a few tidbits. First of all, we have refreshments that are going to be served in the rotunda. There's a VIP lounge where we're going to be, of course, providing a top hospitality to our VVIPs today. We have a media workstation, which is going to be in the Trinidad room. We, of course, have exhibitors on display, so please take the time to take a quick peek, maybe even do a little tasting, if it's a sugar cane or the cassava or a little bit of herb tea, please take the time. We also have craft vendors who are also there out on the outside as well. Also, tomorrow we have a special treat from the primary and secondary school students who are going to have a youth display. They would have done a competition, and I think some of those things are just bless your heart. I mean, I think there's probably a 7-year-old in one of the pictures, and his thing about sustainability and his voice and what he sees for the future was a coconut tree that looked like a person, and it said hero at the top. Totally priceless. So tomorrow, if you could make some time to check that display out, would be wonderful. Before we close, last bit for me here is for me to acknowledge our key sponsors, Link Strategic Partners, Little Caribbean, New York City, Royal Caribbean International, Silver Sands Grenada Beach Resort, Six Senses La Suggest Grenada Resort, our ally partners, Inter-Caribbean Airways and Virgin Atlantic. Thank you so very much. Our sponsors for the Caribbean Sustainable Tourism Awards are the Grenada Hotel and Tourism Association. Actually, today I think they actually signed an MOU with the Solid Waste Authority for the collection of plastic bottles from the different hotels. Fantastic stuff that's happening. So we thank them for sponsoring that award. The Grenada Investment Development Corporation, the Institute of Tourism Studies of the George Washington University, the World Sustainable Travel and Hospitality Awards as well, also a great sponsor, and the St. George's University right here in Grenada. Our media partner sponsors are the Caribbean Media Corporation, Caribbean Broadcasting Union, Breaking Travel News and Wanderlust, and we have the strong support behind us from Marketplace Excellence, Republic Bank, Grenada Limited, Open Interactive, Streamline Networks, and without you, I don't know how things would be possible. So thank you so very much. We break for the refreshments. Please remember it's in the rotunda. 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes max. Thank you so very much for your attention.
Best believe my list gon' be like 5 miles long. Best believe it's love that makes me sing this song. The cleanest breeze on the waters. Friendly people meet in every corner. Togetherness and love is what we stand for. We stand for. We stand for.
Oh, island in the sun. Look at how we've grown, how far we've run. 50 years we strong and more to come. More to come. More to come. We're going higher. 50 years we're blessed, we're forged in fire. Still reaching for more. Going up, going up, 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 up. Going up, going up, going up, 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 up.
We're going higher. Going higher. As we aspire, build advances, put people together.
Bang, bang, bang.
It's only up from
It take time to reminisce on the richness of our history from the beginning. From the people who came through sugar and change, emancipation through revolution.
More than the speck up on the globe. More than the ice cream and gold. Much more than the nutmeg and the clove. Tell the world we are Grenadians. Oh.
3 islands united as one, blessed with the strength to carry on. We're more than just that island in the sun. Tell the world we are Grenadians.
Higher. 50 years we're blessed, we're forged in fire.
Oh, you mean? We going up, going up, going up, 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 going up, going up, going up, 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 up.
Aspire. Build advances, want people together.
Grenada, going up, going up, going up, 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 going up, going up, going up, 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 up.
Really and truly, can't find the words to describe what my country mean to me. So much things we take for granted, but so much things they give to me.
Peace and tranquility, family, community. It no matter where we go in the world, just know that the woman's where my heart is.
50 years, as you shape for 50 more, as you shape to reach your goal, like you only bring the goal.
I can see the vision clear. Sing it out to let the people hear.
Look at how we've gone and how far we've come.
50 years we strong and more to come. More to come. More to come. It's only up from here.
More, more, more. Higher.
Like that,
Higher.
and higher, and higher.
It's only up. We're going higher.
50 years we're blessed, we're forged in fire. Still reaching for more. Going up, 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 up. Going up, 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 up. Going up, 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 up.
We make the curricle pity matnik.
Going higher. 50 years we're blessed, we're forged in fire. Still reaching for more. Going up, going up, 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 up. Going up, going up, going up, 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 up.
We're going higher. Going higher. As we aspire, build
Because of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique's diverse marine life and excellent dive sites, still have the opportunity to enjoy the Pure Grenada Dive Fest as the 4th edition goes virtual. Following the cancellation of the physical event this year due to the coronavirus pandemic, the Grenada Scuba Diving Association, supported by the Grenada Tourism Authority and Grenada Hotel and Tourism Association, decided to host a virtual experience for everyone looking forward to the festival over the next 4 weeks. President of the Grenada Scuba Divers Association, Christine Finney, says from the 25th of September to the 25th of October, enthusiasts can follow the virtual action by tuning into Pure Diving's Facebook or Instagram profiles at Grenada Pure Diving.
We have a lot of exciting things to talk about, a lot of things to share, and a lot of platforms that we hope we can get people involved anyway. So take people on some virtual tours, that's becoming a much bigger thing in the COVID era, to get people online, to get people engaged. And then we can see underwater without actually having to be underwater, so to speak, which I think will appeal to a number of Grenadians as well. And we're hoping to kind of encourage some more local participation, as well as getting our visitors overseas who are really dying to be back and be underwater to kind of get them some little teasers and some little tasters, and to give them some competitions and maybe see themselves in a video or see themselves in a photo and see if we can get some engagement and just some excitement. We have very healthy reef that still exists in both Grenada and Carriacou, and our coastal reefs we still have, because we are generally a low volume destination. When our visitors come, they get very exclusive, very personalized experiences interacting with our reef in a very eco-friendly, sustainable, non-touch, no-take kind of way. So our sea fan diversity, our sponge diversity, our coral diversity, we're going to be talking about all of these things and showing some great examples. We have some of the best reefs in the region and definitely in the Caribbean as well, and that's feedback that we get from our international guests on a very regular basis.
Pure Dive Fest launched on 25th September, coinciding with the anniversary of the sinking of the Tyrrell Bay wreck. She is the latest addition to the destination's wreck lovers portfolio of amazing dive sites in Grenada and Carriacou. A video was posted on social media to share the story about her interesting service life to the people of Grenada, her clean sinking, and her continued contribution to the destination as a popular attraction and an artificial reef. The GSDA president also announced that Beginners Dive Day will be the only live event this year.
Our Beginners Dive Day, which really focuses on our local dive market, kind of giving Grenadians the experience to see what it means to try to learn to dive, what the first kind of day experience looks like, what the equipment looks like, and we're going to get some of our local kind of known personalities in the pool with some instructors to give that experience a try in a way that we can kind of present that to the public. So super important, and we make a big ask that if anybody's even remotely interested, that you get online on Instagram or Facebook, go to Grenada Pure Diving or Grenada Pure Diving. If you Google that, you're going to come up with our website as well. It includes our COVID protocols if anyone's got interest in that and you want to make sure we're doing our thing. We definitely have a thorough protocol that we vetted. Our member shops are ready and open for business, but we just need to make sure that we're doing it in a safe way. So there's a lot of information and a lot of good stuff to share, and we're just excited to get that out there, and we hope we can get some participation.
Pure Dive Fest 2020 culminates on the 59th anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic of the Caribbean, the Bianca C, on October 24. Nautical assistant Chanel Sandy says the GTA is happy to support the virtual Pure Grenada Dive Fest this year. As a PADI certified diver, she also encouraged residents to explore our underwater world.
I started diving about 10-11 years ago. I have an interest for the sea, and working at the GTA in the Nautical Development Department, dealing with water, got me even more involved in loving the ocean. And I started diving about 2-3 years ago, certified, and now I'm getting to be an advanced diver. I'm really excited about that, and hopefully getting certified in other areas in diving.
Presently, 5 out of a total of 9 dive operators in the destination are open for business, and this is a great time for locals to learn to dive and for visitors to see what makes diving in Grenada so popular. For the Grenada Tourism Authority, I am Ria Murray.
Dreaming of taking a break and escaping to an idyllic, happy place? Well, finding it does not require you to go too far. You already live in paradise. All it takes is for you to go out and discover it. Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique are blessed with a wide variety of accommodation that satisfy any taste and budget. Find the one that suits you and your family and treat yourself while having peace of mind that your health and safety is a priority. Knowing that we have gorgeous waterfalls, stunning beaches, and flavorful cuisine, let's be tourists in our own islands and enjoy paradise at home.
The Nutmeg Princess is very special to me because I think it's the first Grenadian fairy tale, so to speak. Growing up as a young boy and stuff, we never really had positive images of fairy tales where we can see a black princess or a black prince and stuff. So I really wanted the world to know that there is a black princess and she comes from Grenada. There are other stories of black princesses, but this one is a special one because it's a spicy princess called the Nutmeg Princess. So she's a really beautiful black girl, and she lives in one of the most exquisite places in Grenada called the Grenada Lake. And it's a lake that has no bottom, right? And the only way you can see the princess, even if you're outside sailing on the sun and beautiful blue Caribbean Sea, the only way you can see the princess is if you have a good heart. You must have a good heart. And sometimes you think you have a good heart, but you might not have a good heart. So you might have to do little things to have a good heart. So to have a good heart, and then you will see her. And she will appear, and she's the most beautiful. She has diamonds in her hair, lots of braids, and sometimes she appears and she'll be singing a song. Sometimes it'll be a sad song, sometimes it'll be a happy song, depending on how you feel that day. If you're happy, you'll always get a happy song. So that's Nutmeg Princess.
Something for everyone.
believe my list gon' be like 5 miles long. Best believe it's love that makes me sing this song. The cleanest breeze on the waters, friendly people meet in every corner. Togetherness and love is what we stand for. We stand for. We stand for.
Oh, island in the sun. Look at how we've grown, how far we've run. 50 years we strong and more to come. More to come. More to come. We're going higher. 50 years we're blessed, we're forged in fire. Still reaching for more. Going up, going up, 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 up. Going up, going up, going up, 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 up.
We're going higher. Going higher. As we aspire, build and fans as one people together.
Bang, bang, bang.
It's only up from
It take time to reminisce on the richness of our history from the beginning. From the people who came through sugar and change, emancipation through revolution. More than the speck up on the globe, more than the ice cream and gold, much more than the nutmeg and the clove. Tell the world we are Grenadians. Oh.
3 islands united as one, blessed with the strength to carry on. We're more than just that island in the sun. Tell the world we are Grenadians.
Higher, 50 years we're blessed, we're forged in fire. Oh, you mean? We going up, going up, going up, 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 going up, going up, going up, 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 up. Aspire, build advance as one people together. Going up, going up, going up, 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 up. Going up, going up, going up, 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 up.
Really and truly, can't find the words to describe what my country mean to me. So much things we take for granted, but so much things they give to me.
Peace and tranquility, family, community. It no matter where we go in the world, just know that the woman's where my heart is.
For 50 years, as you shake for 50 more, as you shake to reach your goal, like you only break the goal.
I can see the vision clear. Sing it out to let the people hear.
Look at how we've gone and how far we've come.
50 years we strong and more to come. More to come. More to come. Yeah. It's only up from here.
More, more, more. Higher,
Like that,
higher.
and higher, and higher.
It's only up. We're going higher. 50 years we're blessed with fortune and fire. Still reaching for more.
Forever.
Going up, 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 up. Going up, 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 up. Going up, 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 up.
We made the Carrico Pity Matnik.